Hi, Gooby here. Today I'd like to talk about whether our choices are constrained by our biology. I've read comments on this channel saying that there's an awakening happening, that our collective consciousness is elevating or going to a higher vibration or frequency or something like that, and that it's just a matter of time. I certainly think that would be a good thing to happen, but I'm pretty skeptical, and I wanted to talk about that. And the reason being is, modern humans have been around a long time. I mean, we've been around for 300,000 years. If it hasn't happened by now, what's to make it happen in my lifetime? Oh, there's a lot of waves. I like watching waves. I like watching the energy move through the water and manifest itself in waves and foam and bubbles and sound. It's really pretty. Well, if it hasn't happened in 300,000 years, I'm kind of skeptical whether it will happen. Now, there are some things that are kind of special about the time we live in. Well, there's never been this many people. There's 8.2 billion people walking around alive. And we're more connected than ever before through the technology we have. The internet, our phones, our wireless data. This YouTube video is a good example of that. This video, I'm sitting in the very northwest corner of the United States, near the Pacific coast. Well, I mean, relatively speaking, to the rest of the United States. And the Earth is really big, and I'm making this video, and it's going through the airwaves, through electrons. Electrons are moving at the speed of light. Radio waves are traveling really, really fast around the world. Well, I guess a YouTube video will probably go through undersea internet cables rather than radio waves. So it's really moving at the speed of light all around the Earth. Now, the Earth is very big. I forget how long it takes for a photon. If you're traveling at the speed of light, I wonder how long it takes to go around the Earth. Actually, we're going to look this up. Let's see. How long to go around Earth at speed of light? 0.13 seconds. So the information that's carrying this video with my face and my voice and the waves, and you might hear Doobie. Doobie's in my lap. You might hear her. Actually, I'll just show you her. She's just chilling in my lap, having a good time. That information is traveling around the planet. It can go all the way around in 0.13 seconds, or it can just go to the other side of the Earth, which I think would be... not sure what the opposite end of the Earth from here is. Madagascar, maybe? Maybe Madagascar. It could go there in 0.6 5 seconds. So 6 milliseconds. That's really fast. Like that. And it's all the way to the other side of the planet. I mean, that's pretty cool. But does connectivity and a large number of people mean that we will reach some higher vibration or consciousness? What does that even mean? I think what people mean by that is that we will realize that we need to love each other and take care of each other and take care of the planet we live on. I think that's what people mean when they say we'll reach a higher vibration or consciousness. But will we? I wonder. Because it certainly doesn't look like it when I look around. I look around and with all this connectivity, I can see what's happening all over the world. People are being bombed and starved, and people are struggling to get by because the people that are wealthy, they control, they essentially enslave people and make people live in conditions that are just enough to keep them from revolting and deposing the people that control them, essentially. Just enough, like not too much, because if you gave people too much, well, then you'd have less for yourself as the wealthy person. So you want to maximize how much wealth you can essentially farm from people. You're farming people. Maximize how much wealth you're gaining from them, and keep them in pretty squalid conditions, but just not bad enough that they're like, screw this. Yeah, let's get rid of that person and do things our own way. Maybe like spread the resources a little bit more equitably. You want to come back here? I think that's what I see when I look around. And because people have just enough, they just have just enough to like survive, and their babies survive. They have just enough, they can't risk coming together and being like, hey everybody, look at what's happening. Gosh, we just have barely enough, but whoa, look at that person that essentially running everything. Boy, I mean, they've got like a gigantic yacht and like 8 homes, and they got so much money that like literally couldn't spend it in a whole lifetime or thousands of lifetimes. I mean, well, what's going on here? Maybe we should do something about it. But everyone's has just enough to like make it for a week or 2 weeks. Don't have enough to like do something about it. Well, that's kind of where we are. Although something kind of cool happened. Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air, or will be later. And that was actually surprisingly quick, and people were like, yeah, we're just gonna boycott Disney and Hulu and unsubscribe because that's some BS. And so many people did it. They were like, crap, we got to go back on our decision to like get Jimmy Kimmel off the air. Because we're losing tons of money. Well, I guess that is a sign of hope. you get Jimmy Kimmel back on the air, because what the people in charge really care about is their pocketbook. And if you boycott, well, it seems to work. But could you strike? I don't think people have enough to like make it by, but maybe they do. I don't. But like, what would you strike for? See, then it's the other thing. Like, what would you strike for? Everyone has so many ideas about like how things should be, and they're conflicting, a lot of them. Some people want just everything for their small tribe. Some people want everything for just people that look like them, like the same color skin, same color hair, same color eyes. Some people want just the same thing for the group of people that believe in the same religion or God or ideology or something. They don't want it for other people. No, I can't do that. What I see is people delighting in the other people, not their group of people, but the people out of their group. I see people delighting in seeing the other hurt or essentially tortured physically or psychologically, or expelled, like exiled from the country. That doesn't bode very well for elevation of consciousness, whatever that. I mean, I think I know what people are meaning when they say that. And yeah, we've been around 300,000 years, so why do we behave that way? Why do we hurt each other? Why do we try to put other people down if they're not in our group? Why do we hate other people? Why do we delight in their suffering? Why do we want everything for ourselves or our small group of people? Why is that? Well, I mean, I think that comes from our biology, partly, of like wanting to secure reproductive success for ourselves so that we can make more babies that look like ourselves. I mean, I think most animals do that, and we're an animal. Life forms. It does not even an animal. I mean, bacteria will do that. A mushroom, fungus, a tree will do that too. So I mean, I can see biologically why you might behave that way. But the curious thing about being human is that we have the ability to, well, I mean, I think other animals also are conscious, like we are. But the curious thing about being a human is that we have the ability to like think about possible choices and possible outcomes and possible behaviors. We have choices, I think. We at least have the illusion of choice. Now I've talked about free will, and if there is free will, or if it's an illusion, because it certainly seems like we've got free will, the ability to choose. But let's just say we do have free will. And we have the ability to think about how we want to live and choose how we want to live. Like, if it's real that we have the ability to choose how we want to live, well, then there's like an infinite number of ways to live. We could continue living the way we are, where we are essentially taking the tribal mindset to the global stage and attacking other tribes to try to elevate our own and secure resources for our own tribe. That's kind of what we're seeing, I think. Or we could realize that, oh yeah, okay, our neural psychological architecture, our biological drive is there, and it developed, it evolved in a time where humans were very few, and they lived in small groups of people that essentially were very spread apart. Well, we don't live like that anymore. We've got 8.2 billion people. We got a ton of people, and we've essentially colonized this whole planet almost. And the groups that we live in are way bigger than tribes. I mean, we're talking about nations. I mean, interconnected globally between nations, international. I mean, our social structures are very different, but our neural, psychological, biological structures, our framework, our the way we deal with things hasn't changed much. And I think that's why we've got nuclear weapons, we've got warfare, we've got genocide, we've got enslavement to a capitalist machine, that we can't even think about how to live differently than this, because it's easier to imagine, there's the quote, it's easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism. Even though we know that it's destroying everything, this whole planet. I mean, it's destroying the way life is right now, leading to mass extinctions and that I've talked about that stuff. But well, not to mention just the suffering of people, just living in this. Do we have the choice to overcome that? I don't know. I feel like we do, because I feel like we can think and imagine a world where there's less suffering, there's more equality, there's more cooperation. I feel like we could accomplish a lot if we cooperated and worked together rather than at each other's throats. I feel like that. I feel like it's possible. I feel like there's a choice that we could all choose to do. But we're not. We haven't been. It's been 300,000 years. Maybe people lived differently 100,000 years ago, but we just don't have that history. That history is long forgotten. Possibly even wiped out intentionally. I mean, it's called prehistory for a reason. It's before writing. So I mean, it's that history is before writing. It's an oral history. So the oral history would have had to have been passed down. But the oral history we don't really have anymore. Maybe it was forgotten. Maybe it was just omitted. Once we started settling in agricultural life, the taker way of life, maybe. So maybe there was a time where our collective consciousness was quote unquote higher or elevated, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think about these things, and I wonder if this is it. This is all we have. This is just what it is to be human. We kill each other. We make each other suffer. We laugh at people and delight in people suffering. We lie to ourselves and tell ourselves that, oh no, we're actually really good people, and we love our neighbor. But then if you look in the mirror, then we're like, no, that's not how we are. We just like to think of ourselves that way. Is this it? Is this all we are? And is this all we'll ever be? Is there no choice? Is there no choice to live differently? I think Doobie says no. What do you think? Well, I certainly feel like we do have a choice. And that's why I'm making this video. Otherwise, okay, like if we don't have a choice, and this is just it, well, what would I do differently? I think I would just try to, like, I don't know, I guess I would just play the game too, and not care about people that are not in my circle, my family, my tribe, my friends, and just like have that attitude of, well, I got mine, good luck with, or not even good luck with you, whatever, I don't care about you, whatever, as long as I got mine. That attitude, it doesn't sit right with me. But I mean, if this is all that we are, then maybe that makes sense. But if there is a choice, yeah, I would choose to take care of myself, take care of the people I love, try to stand up for people that are getting beaten down. Try to help people that are suffering, if they want help. If they want to suffer, then some people want to suffer. I know that sounds weird, but some people really do want to suffer. And there's even a term for it, masochism. Some people want to suffer, so if they want to suffer, that's their choice. But I feel like there is, like, well, this kind of goes to duality. I kind of feel like there's a right and wrong, but maybe there isn't. What's bizarre is that there are some Buddhist monks sitting with the geese in my field of view. I'm going to show you. That's interesting. Huh. Maybe that's some synchronicity. Maybe there is no right or wrong. Maybe it's just, this is what it is. But I think Buddhism always talks about there's always change. Like, everything's changing, and not to get attached to forms, because the forms are impermanent. So I don't know, maybe consciousness does change. Maybe our frequency or our vibration changes all the time. Maybe we have choice, and maybe going to a higher frequency or whatever is not good or bad, it just is. I don't know. Yeah. It just makes me wonder about being alive. It makes me wonder about what to do with my life. I mean, I've done a lot with my life already, but I'm still alive, and so I wonder, like, what do I want to do with my life? It certainly seems to me, it feels like a good idea to make a video like this and ask and ponder about it. Yeah. Well, those are my thoughts for right now. I'm going to be moving back to, I think, more videos like this one, where I'm just sitting in nature, or, well, right now I'm still in the city, but I'm in a park. But just sitting with my dog. She's having fun chewing on a stick. Here she is. Just chewing on a stick. Having a good time. I'm gonna move back to these videos. I made a lot of videos about just doing stuff, you know, like hiking, bicycling, camping, exploring stuff. But I think for this channel, this works the best, I think, for me and probably for viewers too. It's like I can sit and I can focus and I can think and I can explore. It's like going on an adventure in my mind. Sometimes those are the best adventures. Using imagination, using thinking, like exploration of, well, really like the cosmos, but in my mind. And I like that there's calming sounds too. I can still hear some combustion engines, but they're kind of far off. Ideally, I'd be farther out in the wilderness where there are no combustion engines. But yeah, I think I'm going to be moving back actually. So my original videos were kind of all about like this kind of format. I'm going to be moving back to that. Well, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts about, do we have a choice about how we want to live? Is there kind of a elevation of consciousness happening? Or not? Or is it not possible? Or is it possible? Or any thoughts about duality? And the impermanence of things and non-attachment. Yeah, I'm just curious. Also, about this format. No, I think this format is what works best. So, yeah. Doobie and I are gonna make some more videos. Yeah. We'll continue making videos. I like making videos. I've experimented with all kinds of different videos. I like making videos. And yeah. Well, I'll see you in the next one.